Meow, cool cats! It's Chesza Catt here. And today I'm going to tell you about my rather big collection of Scooby-Doo films. And yes, I am a Scooby-Doo fan. May seem a bit weird, talking cat. Liking films about a talking dog. Meh. He's a coward, so it doesn't really affect me. Anyway, I shall show you my movies now. First one I have is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Definitely worth watching. And it is the earliest or oldest film that I know of. Next we have Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, where we first meet a band called the Hex Girls, who become good friends with the gang by the end of the film. As the Hex Girls make an appearance in Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire, based in Australia. I highly recommend that you listen to the commentary on this one. And this one, Scooby-Doo and the Monster of Mexico. As you can tell, Mexico. Listening to the commentary from Scooby, Shaggy and Fred is definitely worth a listen. Next I have this one, which contains 3 movies. The first is Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword, based in Japan. The second is Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King. Third is Chill Out Scooby-Doo, based in the Himalayas. There you go. Give a look at the covers. Next is Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster, based in Scotland, where we meet one of Daphne's relatives who happens to live there. Next we have Scooby Abracadabra Doo, which is based in a magic academy which happens to be an old castle. Next we have Scooby-Doo Music of the Vampire, which is a sing-along, and I do recommend that you get this one if you haven't already. If you like Scooby-Doo, I should point that out, if you like Scooby-Doo. Next on my list is Scooby-Doo Pirates Ahoy, which pretty much explains itself. Then we have Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Phantasaur. In my case, you can't actually see Shaggy, but he is here where my finger is, cowering under an umbrella. He's supposed to be cowering under an umbrella. As you can see bits where he's supposed to be. You can see the basic shape where he is. Worth getting, because it's actually quite entertaining. Next I have Scooby-Doo in Where's My Mummy. I will say, the one, if you haven't got this film, the villain may surprise you. And it is very clever the way it is actually done. Based in Egypt, as you can tell. Next I have Scooby-Doo Camp Scare, which has a 3D cover. If I can get it to work for you. There you go. That villain who is appearing is known as the Huntsman. This movie is where they go back to Fred's summer camp. Well, Fred goes back to his summer camp to be a counsellor with the rest of the gang. My most up-to-date cartoon anime movie, the newest one that I know of, is Scooby-Doo Mask of the Blue Falcon, which is very clever and definitely worth getting, as you find out a little more about Shaggy and Scooby in that one. Now I'm going to move on to my live action films that I have, which is of course Scooby-Doo, the movie. If you don't have this and you want me to tell you a bit about it, well, it's how the gang ends up splitting up and then getting back together, and then you find out that the villain in question is actually a bit of a brat. I guess is the best way of putting it. But if you haven't seen it, I am not going to spoil it for you. And I will recommend, if you have this movie and haven't listened to the cast commentary, it's definitely worth a listen, as I've listened to it several times and it always makes me laugh. Then, of course, there is Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. Not as good as the first, but it is very clever, the way they do the monsters. I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. Like I said before, not as good as the first. Then there is, of course, Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins, which is definitely worth getting if you haven't got it, because it's the story of how the gang first meet and how they first become Mystery Incorporated. The follow-on film from that is Scooby-Doo, Curse of the Lake Monster, which, as you can see down by Velma, that is the monster in question of the lake, and they basically have summer jobs on a golf course that is owned and run by Daphne's uncle, who also is a playboy. That's all the movies. Now I will show you 3 DVDs that belong to the series Mystery Incorporated. This is series 1, this is volume 1, as you can see. This is a different story of Scooby-Doo, in the fact that they don't live in Coolsville, and they're not the only mystery gang from Coolsville, and the fact that their parents don't understand them and would rather have Crystal Cove, as it's known in this series, it's the most haunted place on earth. If you're not entirely sure about the series and are a Scooby-Doo fan, I recommend you give it a try, because it's quite interesting and there's a deeper mystery hidden within it. This is volume 2 of series 1. There. This cover is corresponding to one of the mysteries. Oh, and this one, show you the back, also has the Hex Girls appearing in it. Their outfits are different, I will grant you, but it's a different look for them, and definitely worth watching. Oh, there's the back of volume 1 if you're wondering. And here is volume 3 of season 1. And there's the back for you. Basically, it's worth watching. Series 2, as far as I understand, has only been shown on TV and has only come once, which is a bit annoying. And I hope to see more soon. Until next time, meow.